Assalamu alaikum students, this is Muhammad Ismail, your business teacher. So today I welcome you for the session about paper 2 for AS. This paper is based on two data response questions, and as per our discussion, we will be concentrating on one which will be relatively more difficult as compared to the other one. So for this one, I selected Newtown Hospital. According to this, there are certain bold terms in which we were to write, we are supposed to give the definitions. And then in this one, they are talking about the hospital management, which is looking forward towards renting out some facilities to the private sector. It means they want to go for both public sector patients and private sector patients, mean they want to improve their facilities. Then here there is some cash flow statement given, and at the same time it is said that, or they have highlighted that this hospital management do not want to employ extra staff for this project. It means they are trying to use or trying to employ the existing staff. So it means they need to hire them with overtime, or they need to pay relatively higher overtime, which is generally 1.5 times the overall or common rate, prevailing rate. Then most employees belong to trade unions. It means when we will be answering questions, so we do need to have this thing in our mind that these trade unions can have what type of impact. Okay, let's look at question number A. It is based on explain the following terms: public sector. Public sector as an economic agent is owned, funded, and controlled by the state. Generally, profit is not the main objective. Particularly, hospitals, whereas the private sector, they do go for the profit motive. So this is your response for public sector. Then comes your market research. Before starting market research, we can add another point, which will be that the public sector hospitals generally medical services produced are called merit goods. But the medical facilities produced by the private sector are not necessarily merit goods because they charge full price. Okay, let's move on to market research. Okay, it is the extent to which okay, market research is basically exploring the market, mean to find out whether the goods and services which a business is producing, those are demanded, or which type of goods and services are demanded in the market so that the business can produce. Market research can be conducted through field research, which is also called primary research, or it can be conducted through desk research. Desk research is generally based on historical data. That is why we also call it secondary market research. It is quite easy and economical. Okay. Next is B part. The first one, suppose cash inflow in month 5 is 30 million, higher than in month 4, and all costs remain the same as those for month 4 given in the table 2. Calculate the closing balance for month 5. Okay, so first of all we need to find total cash inflow. It is said that the cash inflow for the fifth month is 30 million higher. For fourth month it was 20, so for the fifth month it will be 20 plus 30, which is 50 millions. While the other outflows or the costs are same, like 7, and then the closing balance, the opening balance, which is negative 7. Let me repeat. So to find closing balance, the formula is opening balance plus total cash inflow minus cost. Opening balance is minus 7 millions. Total inflow is 50 millions. And the costs are 7 millions. So minus 7 and minus 7 will be minus 14. And the closing balance will be $36 million. Now, second question. I mean, B part 2. Here, it is asked that using table 2 and your answer to part 1, explain the usefulness of the cash flow forecast to Newtown Hospital. Now, cash flow forecast generally sets out plans for firms and for Newtown Hospital's future receipts and payments. In this scenario, full stop, it does show recurring, mean those expenses which emerge again and again, and one-off expenses mean those expenses which appear only once, capital expenditures. In the fifth month, it became positive. Now, this cash flow in the fifth month became positive. Until month 4, it was negative. So, this is the importance of it. This is what we are able to find out, that in which month it became positive. Now, because of one-off costs, in the months to follow, this cash flow will become even better. So, in a way, these all points are explaining the usefulness of cash flow forecast. Now, C part. It is analyze methods of market research that Newtown Hospital could use to help set the prices that it might charge private sector health organizations. It is for 8 months, so it means in this we need to keep in mind, or we need to display our knowledge and understanding, then explanation and analysis. Let's start. Market research is exploring Newtown Hospital's business potential in the market. Newtown Hospital has desk and field research options. Through desk research, Newtown can find out prices charged by private hospitals for same facilities, comma, what similar or different facilities Newtown Hospital has, and demand for existing facilities. While through field research, Newtown Hospital can explore prices paid by organizations and what patients will be willing to pay. Further, Newtown Hospital can assess what facilities the patients want, but it will be quite difficult to get confidential information from competing hospitals. Mostly competitors never expose their business secrets. This is your part C. Last part, D part, it is type of an essay. And in this one, you need to write about all the four aspects. Discuss the factors that NH or Newton Hospital needs to consider in managing its human resources when starting the renting out project. The main resistance to change comes from employees, and its intensity is even higher if these employees are backed by unions, as is the case with Newtown Hospital. It means Newtown Hospital is to negotiate with its employees as it does not want to hire extra workers. That is, existing employees have opportunity to work more and earn relatively higher wages. Newton Hospital can conduct survey among them or among the employees to find out which of them want to work for private sector or or a referendum to go for or not to go for both private and public sector. I mean, just to take their views so that it can be decided that which are on the board. Once they are given the option to choose, they can be assured for overtime as money is one of the main motivator. Lastly, a lot depends on the managerial abilities and capabilities of Newtown Hospital management, whether they can handle changing human resource management. Students, this was the response for, or the potential response for D part. Now, you need to listen this and then you need to script your answers in the light of these potential responses with some improved input. Thank you. In the next class, inshallah, we will discuss section A of Mock 2. So until next time, Allah Hafiz.